Joined by Assumption football head coach Bob Chesney as the Hounds travel to Pace this Saturday looking for a third straight win. Coach, kind of looking back on last week's hard-fought win over Southern Connecticut, what stands out to you now that you had some time to reflect on it?
The ability to, again, put it together for 60 minutes. I thought that was something that we were able to do on, both sides of the ball for a stretch. I think, the full 60 minutes is something I thought special teams and defense were able to do, and we were close on offense. We just got to be able to get it clicking on all cylinders, and we got to be able to establish a passing game to loosen up the run game or vice versa, and those are things that we worked quite a bit on throughout the week. Our offensive line, our defensive line up front did a very good job. Again, some things that we'll talk about here in a minute, but at the same time, it's got to start there in the trenches, and those guys did a good job.
Speaking of the line, Southern obviously was large on both sides of the ball. As we tried to run the ball early on, even though we trailed 7-0 for much of the half, you must have been pleased with the defense, to keep it just a one-possession game.
Yeah, they were very big on both sides of the ball, like you just said. And defensively, that first drive, we're just really feeling each other out and just trying to see what they were bringing to the table and what adjustments we had to make at that point in time. We knew that they were capable of a lot of things offensively. They had a young guy starting at quarterback that's going to be a great one, and he did an excellent job managing the first drive. I felt like we did enough defensively, and up front, our defensive line really did hold their own throughout the course of that. Offensively, as you're trying to run the ball, when they load up the box, you got to be able to throw the ball, and we just had a couple crucial drops that never allowed them to believe that the pass game was a major threat and loosen up. So that's something we talked quite a bit about and have worked quite a bit on. I mean, nobody wants to drop the football, that's for sure, but at the same time, we got to catch some of those crucial ones to loosen back up and be able to run.
Well, overall in the game, you had 3 interceptions. We turned them over on downs 3 times, 8 quarterback hurries. While the offense was sorting things out, it must have been a great feeling as a head coach to really be able to lean on your defense like that.
We have to be able to lean on each other at all times. The one game, I think it was mostly the special teams that we were looking at with the big touchdown and some things in there that they were able to do really, really well. Earlier in the season, it was the offense as the defense was trying to find its footing. And then a game like this where it's a defense. But that's what a full team, game is has in store for it. And I think those are the things that we got to be able to do. If we're just not doing what we need to be doing on one side of the ball, the other one has to be there. We can't hang our heads or complain about it. We got to tighten up our chin straps and go back to work.
And the offense did convert a pair of touchdowns, including the one late to seal it after getting great field position after the interception from Bates. They just kind of kept plugging away, and they really converted when we needed them to.
Yeah, and timing. We talked about that after the game, but being able to run the ball is one thing, but being able to run it when you really need to is another. We struggled at times, but when we really, truly needed it, we were able to find it. And those are things that, again, we are going to need going into this week as well.
And then, like you said, this week, Pace University, they've struggled this season, but obviously you can't overlook anyone in this league. What have you seen from film on them so far as we get ready for Saturday?
Well, they actually have a lot of weapons on offense. They do a very good job. Their quarterback can run, he can throw on the run. Their receivers are good. We have to be able to continue to play our style of football on defense and on offense. We got to not just be one-dimensional on offense. We need our special teams to come along, and defensively, we got to force them into throwing the football and into some situations where hopefully we can take advantage of it, just like we do every week as we go into it. Starting up front, being able to run the ball, being able to stop the run, and then hopefully get them into some longer down and distances where we can take advantage of them. But I think we got to do the adverse on offense as we got to try to put them in those positions on defense.
And we always talk about running the ball, stopping the run, and winning the turnover battle. Is there anything else that you think we need to particularly step up in order to come out with that win on Saturday?
I think the third down is the other thing that comes about. If we can run the football early, if we get ourselves into third and manageables, then we're in situations where we can extend drives, and it really is about extending drives. Changing the field and putting ourselves in position to score some points. We got 2 very good kickers that are very capable that we got to be able to get points when we can, and do that consistently week in and week out.
Well, best of luck, Coach, and thank you.
Thank you, Ken.